to put it in perspective, I'm not sure if a lot of listeners know what wholesaling is. So like, let me explain it.
School them.
Yeah. So basically, you know, if you have a, you know, seller who's like kind of in a situation where they need, you know, like say like $300,000 to sell their house, right? And they're like, you know, this is like, you know, like preferably a house that can be, you know, like fixed up and like, you know, resold for a better price. Yeah. So they're happy with, you know, I need $300,000. I'm like moving out of the country, like, you know, I'm getting a divorce, like whatever it is, whatever their situation may be, they need $300,000 and they need to close by a certain amount. So you identify this person and you say, okay, well, you know, I, Ariv, will buy your property for $300,000, right? And you put that on a piece of paper, and it's called a purchase and sale agreement. When the seller signs this, now you have exclusive buying rights to this property until it closes. Like you have like, say you got like 30 days to close on this property. You have exclusive buying rights. And what you can do with this purchase and sale is that this exclusive buying rights, not only is the house for sale, the exclusive buying rights can be for sale, right? So say you find, you know, another buyer, like who's an actual like established flipper, investor, whoever he is, and he sees the value in the property. He sees that if he puts in, you know, like 40,000 into it, he can sell it for 500. To him, it's like, oh, buying this property for 320 is nothing. I'm still gonna make profit. I'm gonna buy for 320, put in 40 into it, and, you know, like still like, you know, and then sell it for 500 and make the difference.
Exactly.
So to them, it's like that would make a thing. So the purchase and sale that you originally signed with the seller, you assign it to the other, into the incoming buyer, and you pretty much have another document that says, okay, I, Ariv, assigned this property to this buyer for $20,000.
Okay.
And then so you got now two separate documents: the one you signed with the seller, the one you signed with the buyer, and you take both of these documents to escrow, and they handle the paperwork. And now the seller receives the $300,000. You know, like I'll receive as the wholesaler the $20,000, and the buyer now receives the property.
Yeah, gets the house.
And then boom, and then you know, like, and then he does whatever with it.
So that's actually keep on rolling. That's so all right. So now do you have to, I guess, prep the homeowner, the original homeowner, and kind of guarantee that they can get their return back before they sign the deal? Or is it like, do you have to line it up with the person who wants to buy the house?
Like, I mean,
how does that work? Because
it really depends. Like a lot, like, you know, like now I feel like when you're a little bit more established, the way you'll do it is that you have a list of buyers already, and you know exactly what this buyer's criteria is. And when you have that level of familiarity with the buyers, you find a property in like West Seattle, you'd be like, oh, who do I know that's got a West Seattle property? Boom. You
start connecting dots.
But like the way we did in the beginning was way more stressful because we found the property, and then we got like a limited number of days to close, and then we got to find the buyer. You know what I mean? It's like
it's like kind of backwards.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, it was stressful. I mean, it still happens time to time where we just kind of end up finding a property, and like it's like kind of like in the middle of nowhere. You still got to, you know, figure out how to do it. But there's ways around it, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so to give you perspective, right? Like one thing you can do now that so over a course of time. In the beginning, we were just wholesalers. Like we didn't actually have our, you know, real estate license. At this time period.
So you can do that without a license.
Oh yeah, you can definitely.
You can do it in Washington without a license.
Absolutely.
I was told otherwise.
Man, fuck that. Like,
All right, cool. Thank you.
I don't know who your source is, but my guy right here knows.
Yeah. All right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to know too.
Yeah, definitely. You can do that. I mean, whoever's telling you that is probably trying to keep the competition away.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. I mean, there's you know, certain like logistics that you got to follow. Like for instance, when you're like marketing that, you know, the example I told you, that property for $300,000. You as a wholesaler, you're not marketing the property. You're marketing the contract.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like it's certain things you say that, you know, like have legal implications, and certain ways you market it have legal implications. You can't just like, for instance, you can't just, you know, market on like a public platform like, you know, Facebook or Instagram. Yo, I got this contract for sale. But you can do it through, you know, if you have a particular partner or, you know, like a buyer's list or whatever.
It has to stay within the circuit of
exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And so to pretty much add to this, you know, like kind of business strategy, we realized later on that it's like, well, like once the buyer buys the property and now they're, you know, like now they're trying to sell it for $500,000, they need to list it on the open market. They need to have, you know, they need to use a real estate agent to list that. So there's a real estate agent getting 3% of that $500,000 to $15,000 on the back end. So we're like, well, shit, why can't that be us?
Exactly.
So we decided we'll just get our license, and boom, like now we're gonna do the wholesale deals where we're gonna get the wholesales on the front end, and then the property is gonna get fixed up. And then on the back end, we're gonna get that commission. Right. And this was just like, it's like a foolproof model. It's like, you know, like really no risk.
Because it's like, why let it go after that
Absolutely.
point. Just,
because
you've already
there.
done all that work.
Yeah.
You've built that rapport. Yeah. Who knows the house better than you? You were there from the jump.
Absolutely.
So why not sell that
Absolutely.
shit?
Absolutely.
That makes sense.